Thus saved, thus shielded, Raymond 'gan respire. He rose and reared himself in little space, and in his bosom burned the double fire of vengeance. Wrath his heart, shame filled his face. He looked around to spy, such was his ire, the man whose stroke had laid him in that place. Whom when he sees not, for disdain he quakes, and on his people sharp revengement takes. The Gascoignes turn again, their lord in haste to venge their loss his band recorded brings. The troop that durst so much now stood aghast, for where sad fear grew late, now boldness springs. Now followed they that fled, fled they that chased, so in 1 hour altereth the state of things. Raymond requites his loss, shame, hurt, and all, and with 100 deaths revenged one fall. Whilst Raymond wreaked thus his just disdain on the proud heads of captains, lords, and peers, he spies great Sion's king amid the train, and to him leaps, and high his sword he rears, and on his forehead strikes and strikes again, till helm and head he breaks, he cleaves, he tears. Down fell the king, the guiltless land he bit, that now keeps him, because he kept not it. Their guides, one murdered thus, the other gone, the troops divided were, in diverse thought. Despair made some run headlong 'gainst their foe, to seek sharp death that comes uncalled, unsought. And some, that laid their hope on flight alone, fled to their fort again, yet chance so wrought, that with the flyers and their victors pass, and so the fortress won, and conquered was. The hold was won, slain were the men that fled, in courts, halls, chambers high. Above, below, old Raymond fast up to the leads him sped. And there, of victory true sign and show, his glorious standard to the wind he spread, that so both armies his success might know. But Solyman saw not the town was lost, for far from thence he was, and near the host. Into the field he came, the lukewarm blood did smoke and flow through all the purple field. There of sad death the court and palace stood, there did he triumphs lead and trophies build. An armed steed fast by the Soldan yewed, that no guide nor lord the reins to wield, the tyrant took the bridle, and bestrode the courser's empty back, and forth he rode. Great, yet but short and sudden was the aid that to the pagans faint and weak he brought. A thunderbolt he was, you would have said, great, yet that comes and goes as swift as thought, and of his coming swift in flight unstayed, eternal signs and hardest rocks hath wrought. For by his hand 100 knights were slain, but time forgot hath all their names but twain. Gildippus fair, and Edward thy dear lord, your noble death, sad end, and woeful fate, if so much power our vulgar tongue afford, to all strange wit, strange ears let me dilate, that ages all your love and sweet accord, your virtue, prowess, worth may imitate, and some kind servant of true love that hears, may grace your death, my verses, with some tears. The noble lady thither boldly flew, where first the Soldan fought, and him defied. 2 mighty blows she gave the Turk untrue, one cleft his shield, the other pierced his side. The prince the damsel by her habit knew. See, see this mankind's strumpet, see, he cried. This shameless whore, for thee fit weapons were, thy nield and spindle, not a sword and spear. This said, full of disdain, rage, and despite, a strong, a fierce, a deadly stroke he gave, and pierced her armour, pierced her bosom white, worthy no blows, but blows of love to have. Her dying hand let go the bridle quite, she faints, she falls, 'twixt life and death she strave. Her lord to help her came, but came too late. It was not that his fault, it was his fate. What should he do? To diverse parts him call just ire and pity kind. One bids him go and succour his dear lady, like to fall. The other calls for vengeance on his foe. Love biddeth both, love says he must do all, and with his ire joins grief, with pity woe. What did he then? With his left hand the knight would hold her up, revenge her with his right. But to resist against a knight so bold, too weak his will and power divided were, so that he could not his fair love uphold, nor kill the cruel man that slew his dear. His arm that did his mistress kind enfold, the Turk cut off, pale grew his looks and cheer. He let her fall, himself fell by her side, and for he could not save her, with her he died. As the high elm, whom his dear vine hath twined fast in her 100 arms and holds embraced, bears down to earth his spouse and darling kind, if storm or cruel steel the tree down cast, and her full grapes to naught doth bruise and grind, spoils his own leaves, faints, withers, dies at last, and seems to mourn and die, not for his own, but for her death, with him that lies o'erthrown. So fell he mourning, mourning for the dame, whom life and death had made forever his. They would have spoke, but not one word could frame. Deep sobs their speech, sweet sighs their language is. Each gazed on other's eyes, and while the same is lawful, join their hands, embrace and kiss. In thus sharp death their knot of life untied, together fainted they, together died.